Thank you. Så, folkens, dette her blir vår første podcast på engelsk. Vi har fått besøk av en utrolig spesiell person som startet nå med å synge noe som kalles en Ikaros. Det her skal vi høre mer om. Han er fra Peru og er en shaman. Så i dag så skal vi ha en podcast med Don Gino. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me here. It is a pleasure to share this moment with both of you.
Is Don Gino is that your birth name, or is that a name that is more simple?
Well, Gino is my given name. Don, first of all, I come from Peru. My roots are from the Andes, and also have Italian from my father's side, but I was born there. But the Don in Peru is used somehow for the elders, for respect. And lately in shamanism, when they feel it's a very good maestro, they put the word Don before the name. I don't know if that applies to me or not, but for the elder it applies for sure.
Is it some sort of like a sir in English?
Like a sir, Mr. But kind of is connected to a little wisdom that was brought with age and respect. That is how it is used. Even if in the Andes you're not a shaman, and you are a very wise old man, they call you Don Gino or Don Julio, whatever. But you can call me Gino, is enough.
Gino is enough. So obviously we're working a lot with personal development and the health of people through You Can Shape, which is mostly figured around training and nutrition and guidance.
Mhm.
And what was very interesting when we heard about you is that basically because of where you're from and what you have learned and what you are doing, shamanism and what you come from seems to have another approach to serving humanity than only what's mostly popular today, which is training, and we talk a lot about the physical well-being of humans, but what you come from seems to have more information and knowledge about something more.
Yeah.
It's a different approach to healing.
Well, nowadays the word shaman is everywhere.
Yeah. Even in Norway, I can tell you.
Yeah. Well, you have some, I don't know them yet, but I'm hoping to meet them, and that is one of the reasons I visit Norway. I don't know if this time will happen, but I would like to go visit the powerful shaman from the north, the Samis,
Yeah.
which they work also with medicine plants and drumming.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to visit them. But again, the word shaman comes from Siberia, from the tribe Tingus, and it was not even shaman, but Saman, who means the one who knows. And at that time, in the tribal mode, the one who knows or who knew was, of course, the elder,
Yeah.
because he was there before. He learn how to bridge the two worlds, because that is what a shaman does, bridge between two realities. But also, and that was the real meaning of a shaman, let's say, was the warrior, the strongest in the community, in war, in the society, but was also the one that could foresee events. Of course, in that time, maybe he will foresee, okay, a good raining season is coming, so we should plant.
Yeah.
Or maybe that neighbor tribe is going to attack us, I can feel that, so we have to get ready. So he could foresee events. And also the maestro, who could teach the youngsters of this knowledge, but also could teach, because of age and wisdom, society how to become one and behave as a unit. And at the end, the healer that could heal also emotional issues in the society, in the tribe, but also could heal a little boy that was bitten by a spider or a snake or with medicine plants. So that was a real shaman with four legs, the warrior, the foreseer, the maestro, and the healer. I don't know if I have any of those legs, maybe none, maybe all. I'm not the one to say, but I know this is a real shaman. And what I can say is that shamanism, unfortunately, is disappearing in that approach. Now shaman is healers mainly, so one of the legs, which is okay, it's just a name. In Peru, we don't use much that word really. It's more curandero, which translated means healer. Many types of curanderos. In Peru, we have really three big branches of shamanism. Very, very differentiated, but also similar, which I have not seen in all my travels around the world. I have not seen this. There is a very powerful branch in the north of Peru. They work with plants also, San Pedro, or Huachuma is known. I will explain then what Huachuma means, because a lot of people talk about Huachuma without even knowing what is the meaning of that word.
Yeah.
and they work with immersions in the lake at dawn. Um, Lakes that are very high altitude, but between cordilleras or mountains, with tobacco, singing, prayer, salts to clean your body and your energy, and that is not very well known. It's very powerful. The harmonic they use. And then you have the Andes, also in the north where they work with the mapacho, with this tobacco rustica, and the agua florida, which is flower water. And I mention this because they are different, but there are somehow similarities, maybe having the same root. And then in the Andes, they work more with the deities that inhabit Pachamama. It's a deity, it's a goddess, Mother Earth. In the mountains, they believe that there is a deity in each mountain, which is called Apu.
A deity like is a spirit of?
Yeah, a spirit, male, female.
Yeah.
In shamanism, now it is known that it is based on the animism, meaning everything is alive, everything has a soul, anima.
Yeah.
Anima comes from alma, soul. The rocks, the river, the wind, the sun, earth, the water, plants, animals, everything is animated. Because they can see this when they reach, they will see maybe a tree talking to them. How can a tree talk to you? Because they see the soul in the tree. Or maybe a stone transformed, or a jaguar coming to you and communicating in the consciousness level. So that is in the Andes. They work with also plants, the coca leaves, which is a sacred plant, not a drug. But also again, they work with the mapacho and the agua florida. Interesting.
What's the mapacho?
Mapacho is a cigarette that totally raw, and just a dry leaf of the tobacco.
Yeah.
Dried and cut in little pieces. No other additive to that. Really pure tobacco, not like what you can buy in the shops with a lot of chemicals and flavors and whatever. And then the sacred also tobacco is a very old master, a very old plant, even before other plants, medicine plants. And
so they actually use tobacco as a part of the sacred ritual.
yeah, the tobacco was before other rituals. Huh? Tobacco is a very old master. And it is used to cleanse, to open up. Sometimes healers only use the tobacco to heal you, to clean all your body, your aura, your energies, inside out, blowing in the crown, which is the gate to the spiritual world, in your heart, in your hands. So you have clean actions in your feet, so you walk straight in a line, protected. The tobacco is very powerful here, and shamans use it. In the north, in the Andes, and in the Andes also since they know there is an entity, a goddess in Mother Earth, they pray to the Mother Earth, they pray to the Apus, to the mountains, to the deities. That is why they give offers, which are called despacho, which is a mesa or a piece of cloth, which is the representation of a table in the floor, and they invite the deities to the table with food, candy, little piece of meat, shells, grains, coca leaves, a little liquor, and everything. And they call the spirits of Mother Earth, of the Apus, in the right for the Apus, in the left for Pachamama. In this, they recreate the universe in this piece of cloth, and that is a despacho with prayers, with blowing mapacho, and then they wrap it up, and that is the package or the gift or the offering to Pachamama or to the Apus, depending on the type of ceremony. And then these first they have to look for a location, a spot around, which is sacred. It's called a pucara. Either bury it underground to Pachamama as a gift, as an offer. Nobody knows where it is, and even at the ceremony there is 2 or 3 people, only the shaman knows. Or sometimes it's burned, the offering, so the smoke will bring the offerings to the deities up in the Hanak Pacha, the higher world. And that is in the Andes. And the coca leaf is very special because the spiritual world is very well known in many ancient cultures, moves in the realm of the smell, scents. That is why it's used in many cultures, incense, mirra, tabak, sometimes fresh fruit that smells. It's like an offering. The spirits smell and eat and smoke through the human that is channelizing. That is why these offerings. So when you go in a space that is humid, dark, bad smells, dark energies inhabit there. If you go in a beautiful place, clean house, open, fresh air, beautiful smells, plants, Palo Santo, and these smells, light energies inhabit those places. That is why these scents are used in a ritual to protect the space and to bring these light energies to accompany and guide your steps in the ritual. So that is in the Andes. That's already 2 branches. And the other branch is in the Amazon, which is a big variety. Also in the Andes, they use a lot of plants to heal. That it just is not very well. It's well known for Peruvians, but not very well spread abroad. They use a lot of plants to heal, healing plants.
Yeah.
For the body, for the organs, for the skin, for cleaning your energies. There is a belief, we call it mal de ojo, or bad sight. When somebody looks at you bad, then you get this bad energy inside you. Or we call it bad wind. The winds come in the back and then you feel your lungs are not so good. So these things are cleansed by these rituals and these plants. Bad luck also. So, and then we go to the Amazon, also a different type of healing, which a large variety, and curanderos, because as I said, now they're starting with the word shaman because of globalization, but you find curanderos embrace all. Like and also in the Andes, there are levels. Paco in the Andes embrace all the levels. Curandero embraces. And then you have levels, the Onaya, which is the initiation shamanic path. The Meraya is more powerful. There are myths that the Meraya could dive in the river and then come in another town 3 days later without coming out of the water or transforming himself in an animal. Every myth, comes from certain truth. And then you have the Banco, the higher level in the Amazon, very powerful shamans with the prayers and the healing power and the diagnosing. But then again, it's a large variety because you have the base of the Amazon, as in the Andes is the coca leaves. In the Amazon, one of the main plants is the tobacco and the ayahuasca. I will explain later. But then you have ayahuasqueros, which is the one that works with ayahuasca, tabaquero, which is the one that works with tabac, perfumero, or perfumists, which only work with the scents, perfumes of plants and heal you with
Some
the
sort of
scents.
aromatherapy then.
Kind of, yes, very true. And then you have a vegetalista, which comes from vegetalists, which is the one that works with a large variety of plants, the leaves, squeezing or the roots. And then you have palero, because they call the tree for us is a tree, but also palo. Palo means a stick, so they call it paleros. And they have a lot of variety of trees which they work with the root or with the bark, brewing the bark for many diseases. And you have also sobadores or rubbers, they were rubbing the body, or hueseros, people specialize in putting the bone back together. Large variety, but it's not everybody knows everything, but some people get one or two or three. It's like you go to a hospital, you have cardio medics or lungs medics or skin medics. It's kind of the same here.
So they're kind of expert in their field.
Yeah. But in this possibility, you can mix 1, 2, 3, and the more you know, the more powerful you are. But again, also, they were with the mapacho in Agua Florida, and the singing, also in the Andes, in the north. So 3 different branches, very clear for different purposes, but with very strong similarities. The singing, in the 3 of them, the prayer, the mapacho, the Agua Florida. So that is interesting.
And but this is you mentioned you mentioned that in the Amazon now you have like people that are ayahuasqueros, and then you have vegetalistas, and you have all of these different things, and like you said, even trees and barks that can help you cure diseases. And I read not long ago that about 90%, I think they said, of what do you call it, Western medicine or drugs is derived from plants, and we have not even discovered or tested even 10% of all of the plants that are there. So that statistic alone should tell you that a lot of the things that the native people in the Amazon knows about their medicine is actually probably true. Like that it actually works.
It is totally true. This is a knowledge of 5,000-6,000 years, and there is a big difference because the Western world works based on science, which is only something that you can prove, which is the active compound of a plant, the molecule. Instead, we work with the active compound, but the spirit of the plant, which is a big difference. We bring the spirit of the plant, which has an active compound, but which alone has a maybe limited healing power. But if you embrace the whole plant with the spirit of the plant plus the active compound, that is a huge difference. And that is what the shaman does. They don't work only with they pray to the plant, they smoke the plant, they call the spirit of the plant, they sing to the plant, and the spirit of the plant, bit by bit, knows the shaman, gives power of healing to the shaman, gives the singing songs to the shaman, and tells the shaman how to use this tree to heal what and in what way. So if I'm a tree and you sing to me all the time, maybe at the beginning nothing happens, and pray to me and come and bury a little mapacho by my root, because that is what we do as a gift. As in the Andes, they give this package. In the Amazon, they buried mapacho as a gift to the plant, as a respect also. And then the plant starts open his word to you. And once they open, then you can use the power of the plant. The plant gives you the power, showing you, I am your tree, I am the spirit, this is how you use me for this disease in this way. And that is a huge difference between the Western work, which only works with the active chemical of the plant instead of the whole world of the plant.
Yeah, and that's also what I think have come up now in science, because they have obviously tried to synthesize a lot of, or they've tried to synthesize what they think is the key compound, and when they test it, they see that they get, like you said, they get some of the effect, but they don't get the entire package that you get when you know how to use the entire plant. So maybe just the little compound is just like a little key or a little opener, but it doesn't provide everything that's beyond that door. It doesn't provide all of the other things, which the plant probably does, if you know how to use it. And again, it just resonates with a lot of the things that I've heard about Native American Indians as well, and how they treated nature and how they saw nature, because they also said that everything is alive. And so it seems like it's not alive because of the compound, it's alive because of some sort of connection between the living.
Yeah, as I said, shamanism has been there since ever, in every culture, in Africa, in Asia, in South America, in Australia, in North America, everywhere, in Europe. Some of them work with plants. I think a lot in those times work with plants. Some of them work with drumming. Some of them work with praying and singing. And at the end, in Peru, mainly the work is done with plants in the three branches. And each plant has a purpose. There are plants like Renakia, is a tree. And this is good for the bones. When you have a broken bone or extended tissue, or if you have just had surgery, it closes the wound very, very soon. So once you know, and this is what the shamans, the elders transmit, even if you don't connect with the spirit of the tree, you know the purpose, and then you pray to that tree to open up his world. And so many plants have different purposes, and some are healing plants, some are master plants, plantas maestras, because they have a teacher, they teach you many things. Also about the creation, because at the end plants has been here millions of years before us.
Yeah.
They have seen so much before we even imagined to walk. And it is stored, the information is stored there. It's very powerful healing plants like tobacco, now one of the most known plants. There are plants everywhere. In Africa, they have the root, iboga, very, very powerful plant for dropping addictions. The huicholes in Mexico, they work with peyote, which is also a cactus. The San Pedro in Peru, a cactus also, which they call huachuma. At the end, as I said, some people just grab the word and start preaching about that without knowing. And I asked some people, even people that work with huachuma, foreigners, do you know what huachuma is? It's San Pedro. Yeah, but why San Pedro? They don't know. San Pedro is Saint Peter, the one that holds the keys of heaven in the Bible.
Is that where the name came from?
But that was from the Spanish. Huachuma is Quechua. Huachu means path, and uma, head, meaning not head but consciousness. So the way of the consciousness, huachuma. And people just use the word because it's there. And in the Amazon, of course, with nowadays, you have tohe, the bellflower, very old plant, and ayahuasca, which is a combination of two plants, a vine, which is capi, Banisteriopsis capi, and Chaka-Runa, which is a little bush or tree, which is Psychotria viridis. I mentioned the scientific names because now everything has to be studied and you know.
Oh, yeah.
But the mix of these two plants makes this tea, plant medicine tea, which has a very, very powerful, very, very high level of healing power and cleansing in many levels in the body, diseases, blockages of the energy, and also in the emotional level, really deep cleansing of the emotion when you have a broken heart for many reasons. In the mind, because you trouble your mind with so many thoughts that are not useful for you anymore, but you get stuck there, and this clears your mind somehow, make it very clear you to see, because this place is like you are here and you walk in life like this. Everything is nice and easy. You have your car, your house on the beach, and beautiful work. We have a lot of finance, and then you drink, and it's like, oh, really? And you can see beyond. It's crystal clear what you really is meant for you and what to give the real importance instead. So it drops the veil for you, and that brings a lot of healing because you understand where this pain, wound, or disease is coming from.
That's ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca has this power. Really a very old plant in the Amazon, which means literally, aya means death and huasca means rope or vine. Or
Death rope. Doesn't sound very nice.
well, maybe death in the sense of spirit, but also death is good because when you drink these plants, many things die.
Yeah.
Your past dies, your wounds, your sadness dies, and especially your ego. So I think they knew this. That is why they gave this name so many thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why would they give this name?
And that plant is, or it's not a plant, but that medicine, as you call it, is very interesting because it's something that is now being talked about all over in the Western world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you just do a Google search on ayahuasca, you will find the most respected and biggest newspapers in the world and scientific magazines in the world. They're all writing about it and talking about the effects that it has. Now also some it's being looked at from a scientific perspective as well. And you know the stories from people that have gone to the Amazon. Soldiers with PTSD, people with trauma, people searching for a connection. I mean, I think from what I've read of their stories, what seems to be a common factor is that everyone says that we have felt, you know, they have gotten a really big healing. The trauma is, what happened still happened. It doesn't change what happened, but it seems that people are able to live with it in a completely different way, that they have found healing. And another thing that I see people saying a lot is that they all felt some sort of a source.
Mm-hmm.
Like they all felt that they were connected or visited something greater than themselves.
Yeah.
Which resonates again with every story that I've ever heard of the Indians' belief.
Mm-hmm.
What Indians believed. And yeah.
That's true, because as I explained, okay, again, in the Andes, they have the real conviction that there is a big spirit goddess in Mother Earth, spirit in each mountain, in the water. Same in the Amazon. There is a spirit in the water, there is a spirit in the moon, and there is a spirit in the plants, animism. The beauty is that when you drink this brew or this tea, the shaman bridges you to the spiritual world, and I have seen really atheists, I think they're called, the ones that don't have any religion, totally transformed. Now I can see, because the shaman bridges you to the spiritual world where you will find spirits, and where you will meet also the spirit of that plant. And then there's no other way but belief, because here you don't need any faith like in most religions. You are in that realm, you are being told messages that you can hear in your ears, you see the spirits, you feel your smell, and then you come back and you say, we only word that is possible to say, wow, because what is this? So, meaning, what would be to wake up? There is something else beyond this. There is a source, there is a spiritual world. The plant is just a plant that shows you that she has a spirit. Can you imagine if the plant has a sacred spirit, what beautiful sacred spirit inhabits the human? We all come from the same source, manifested in many different ways of life. There's life everywhere, even here in the couch, there's microscopic bacteria or whatever in the air, in the water, even in the fire. There's life everywhere, in the rocks, in the trees, in the animals. This another way of manifesting life, and we are another way that we chose to come through this beautiful humanity.
Do you feel, or do you think that people get some sort of a spark of life back, or that they get maybe they feel like their life has gotten more meaning because they now feel that they're connected to something bigger?
I think so. It's one of the first messages is that everything is connected. We are all one, because you are going to the consciousness realm, which everything is one, everything affects everything, everything is overlapped. The one that you think you are, the big ego, really is broken, and you really see the real you, which is not this big image that you have of yourself, but the reality of this beautiful, loving, shining soul. And it's kind of a reset. It's a reset of your mind, that you see things different, a cleansing of your body, a real deep cleansing of your emotions. Low emotions go out, and this plant works with purging, as many others, and it takes these things out of your system. As long as they are inside, you are not aware of what you have. When they come out, then you have such a relief and such a reset and such a different approach towards yourself and towards the outside world. And when I say towards yourself, because you have opened your eyes, things start to change around you. People around you start to change, some people walk away, some people come, your taste for food changes, avoiding things that are not good for you, and bad habits go away, drinking, smoking, drugs. You don't have to do any effort. This is like a totally reset. This is not a miracle also. You have to do your work. It's not like a magic pill or a magic wand. No, you have to do work. And your work is to surrender to the plan, to come to the plan, to embrace the power of the plan with respect and humbleness, and that is the way you have to do. One and second, and a little while, and then you are totally reset. Mm-hmm.
But I think it's important that when we tell that this is nothing we can do on our own, you have to have a...
Yes.
It's not, you can't drink ayahuasca on your own.
Yeah, thank you for your question. It's very important. Yeah, well, as I was saying, the word shaman now is everywhere. If you put the word shaman, I'm sorry to say, but it is something I have been seeing in front of another service that you give, like shamanic massage or shamanic dance or tantric shamanic. Everything that has the word shamanic means more clients.
So
Yeah.
it's like a marketing tool.
Yeah, well, now it's like that. It's misused, but whatever, it's okay. So everybody has to do their own homework. And why should it be shamanic? I mean, yes, beautiful dance or deep massage. But answering to your question, also that goes into these neo shamans. There are many types of shamans all around the world. Huh? The native, which is very original, truthful to his beliefs, to his approach. There was a commitment from the shaman to his community. That is, you cannot see that very little. Now, what I feel is that the marriage or the commitment is with humanity if you walk in this path, because there are not many communities, little native. Now we are part of the biggest tribe ever, which is called humanity. You cannot separate, especially when you drink these plants. So that is a commitment I have and I took, bringing this medicine wherever it is needed, or medicine plant, and this approach. But the thing is that you have to be very careful who you go to. It's like a doctor. You have to do your research. You have a heart disease. You're not going to put yourself in somebody you don't know, or because you heard these stories here or there. You really have to be totally in trust of where you're going, because you can die in the hospital. Here, it's the same. But it's not only the heart involved, but the whole body, your heart and the emotions, your mind and your spirit. So it's very important to go to somebody that you know who is inside the person. Don't really, the image outside is not so important. Don't go, I mean, I respect the natives, the real ones that they use their feathers and their necklaces. I come from natives, I come from the Andes and Mestizo in the Amazon. I don't know, but I think that the more you show me out is what you show me that your lack of somehow. But at the end, it's not a general rule. There are many, many natives, good ones, that know the word, that you will be safe there. But again, you have to try to see who is inside the person, through the eyes, the voice, the vibration of the person. Mostly, as in the elder days, in younger days, the one who knows, or the shaman, was the elder of the community. That has not changed. So when people ask me, can you recommend somebody from Gino, because I'm not in Peru, I say I cannot, because I cannot put you in somebody else's hands. I know my work. Maybe there are many good shamans, you have to do your own research. But if I can advise something, I always say go to an elder. There you might have a high percentage of being in good hands, 60, 70, 80, 90 years old. I'm not saying anything about the young shamans. They are on the path. They probably will become very good healers. But the one inside is not yet built up as a rock. And they probably will be. There will be, you can find very good ayahuasqueros. They hold a very good ceremony, very powerful singing. But this is still in process, the evolution of that soul, in my personal view. I might be totally wrong. But
But it seems that's also something that I've heard a lot about. But I've heard you say it I saw, and nowadays you can almost pick up a rock and there's a
three shamans.
Yeah. And there's a shaman under.
Yeah.
And,
wow, three shamans. Because they're everywhere.
So it seems like it's been like it's an industry that has grown a lot.
I believe, as I was saying, there is a native shaman that not even speaks Spanish or English. Then there is I would say the mestizo native, which is the native upgraded. They speak a little bit of Spanish, even some words in English. Then you have the mestizo, like my case, that we know both worlds, the Western world and the native world. We are the bridge of both worlds, because many diseases that people from the Western world brings doesn't exist in the tribal mode. I mean, if you go to an Amazon community, you will never find there PTSD disorder or stress or depression. They don't know this. I mean, what would they be stressed for? Because a monkey is doing noise all the night, maybe? Otherwise, what would you be stressed for? Or a snake is the whole day? They don't have the work that you have in this world, and the buildings, nature in the Andes, in the north, in the Amazon. You can see the sun since it comes out to when it sets down. The wind, the river, the water, the rain. That is what you live. So, and then again, you have also the foreigners coming to Peru or to other countries in the Amazon. They have a little dieta or a retreat, and they comes the super ego. That I am the chosen one. I'm the shaman, and these people are the ones that when they come back to their countries, they bring plans and they start doing work without really knowing what they're doing, and putting everybody that come to them until they know in a state of a guinea pig.
Yeah.
Making experiments. That is very risky. Because even if it's a very good ceremony, you get some healings. Some people have come to me and they say, Don Gino, please can you help me, because I went to natives, or I went there and then I cannot sleep, I hear voices in the night. Because this work is not here. It's opening a space to go to other realms. And as there's light beings and dark beings here, there's light beings and dark beings up there. And if you don't know how to manage these energies, then you can get attachments in your mind, in your body, and then you feel not comfortable. That is the highest risk, that you really need to go to somebody not only that knows to brew the medicine or to sing, but how to manage all these energies that come in the space in that ritual for hours. So you have to really do your research. Who is this person? Where is he coming from? What is his background? Referrals of people that went to him, if there is good healing, if there are complaints, if there are flaws. Many young people jump in because of the money or the power or the ego or sex and so on. And then an elder maybe has walked that path already and they are at ease. They don't want a lot of money or a Mercedes in the door. They just want a little house and maybe some finance for their last years in this plane, food, and hormones are already going down maybe, so I think that is the most safety. There are very, very powerful healers. I don't use the word shaman because I think they are in extinction. The being the one with the real four legs, the master, the healer, the warrior, and the foreseer. You can say there are a lot of powerful healers, curanderos, in many ways. And also in the fact of awakening This is one path. There are many paths, meditation, yoga, I don't know. But this is, it is said that it is equivalent to 10 years of psychotherapy. So at the end, another benefit is that you will be saving some money. Because this is kind of a shortcut, not a shortcut, you have to do work maybe a year. Maybe, yeah, a year would be, I would say, not in a row, but having some retreats during the year is good. Yes.
At the same time as well.
Sorry?
Save
Saves time, of course, and time is your biggest treasure. You cannot get time in the market, so you have to use it well. Every day that goes, it's gone, doesn't come back anymore. But again, there is a lot of trouble in the cities, really, that there doesn't exist in the communities. Work, a lot of sexual abuse and bad parenthood, abandonment. I see a lot of this even in the developed countries. I thought in South America was high, but I think that I was wrong. It's really high in these countries. And that troubles because most of the pain and the wounds come from childhood. I think that the highest percentage comes from childhood, and then you bring this during your whole life, dragging this pain, dragging this wound. You don't even know. Sometimes the mind is so good at this that you defend the man. If you're a little kid, and then something traumatic happens to you, you block that memory. And I ask some people that come to me, so do you remember this? No, from year 3 to year 10, I have no recollection. There's nothing, because they block it. That's a defensive mode. And then these plants allow you to enter that blocked memory and really look at the source or the origin of this wound, and then there's the healing. No more. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, maybe now towards the end, there have been a lot about fires in the Amazon in the media lately.
Fires?
Yeah,
Fires.
it's like that there's been burning off a lot of woods, and obviously it seems that the world is becoming very concerned with the state or with the health of the Amazon rainforest, and more people now are starting to get involved in trying to protect not only the rainforest or the Amazon, but the nature in general. Is this something that you notice when you're in Peru?
Yes.
Do you feel that the people down there are concerned with their rainforest?
I think that colonization always was about taking, extraction. You can start with first the rubber, in the time of the rubber, taking, bring it to developed countries. Then the mines, the gold, and many other things were just taken. Now the new goal is the plants, because the big pharma has switched their eyes into psychedelics, because they see now that many diseases, especially of the mind, cannot be healed in the orthodox way. So now they see that there is a big potential, which is okay. Who knows what's going to come? Maybe it will be organized depredation, like farms of this type of plant, just to bring them and make it massive because of course of financial interest. The fires brought attention to the Amazon, and they said, let's save the Amazon, it's burning. But we are burning the Amazon decades ago with no fire. taking the wood, huge extensions of forest is being brought down because of wood, or replacing the trees with palm olive or oil from palm trees, which are very, very damaging the soil. In many ways, yes, and also the mining in the forest, they're looking for gold and gas and oil. And they pray, and you have no idea that deforestation. You can see pictures in Google Earth or years ago, and how it is now. They say that it's recovering bit by bit, but I mean, you go in this path and it will disappear. And that is it is said that this is the lungs of the earth because it produces oxygen. So I think that maybe these plants are here to tell us the story. To us, which we think we rule. We don't rule anything, the plants rule. If they disappear, we're gone. They rule. So maybe they are now here, especially in this last decade, because they know that the plants communicate themselves. They have a big underground network of fungi, and the roots are totally connected as one whole unit in earth. Now we know the plants has consciousness. Now the science have proven that if you speak and shout to a plant, it dies in a week. If you treat this plant with love in another room, it blossoms. So they have feelings, and they react also. So what I'm saying is that maybe these plants know what is happening, and they say it's time to go out. We need to really let humanity see what they're doing. Otherwise, I don't have any explanation what in this last decade or 2 decades, all these plants have come up.
Yeah, it's exploded.
Exploded. Some are misused as a journey or psychedelics, fun, which is the very little percentage.
Yeah.
I think the biggest percentage is really to awake, and it is awakening humanity, because once you go in that path, you take care really of humanity, you look at the earth in a different way. You try not to contaminate yourself and the environment. So I think it's good.
And it also seems that that's a common message as well from people that have done ayahuasca or other plant medicines, or master plants as you call them, that they feel a more connection to, what you call the spirit, but they also feel a more connection to the earth. Like they feel a responsibility to take care of the earth, and not that the earth is something that they own. Like the earth isn't something that you can just misuse and do what you want to. Like you have to actually take care of it.
Of course, so, it's our home.
In that sense, it seems like the experience that people get is not only beneficial for themselves, but actually beneficial for everything.
For life itself.
For life.
If there's no plants, there's no life, no oxygen.
Yeah.
Even in the sea, there are water plants. In the lakes, in the rivers, everywhere. And that here, as I said, millions of years before us, we think we are unique and special, and that we're going to be here forever. The dinosaurs were here before us, and they were 200 million years. We are here only probably 5 million, and we think we're going to be here forever. I don't know about that.
Not in this tempo.
Not in this path, yes. You have to really. I think the change has to start.
Yeah.
It's started slow, it's growing fast. People are coming to the plants, people are awakening, and that is hope. I think there is hope. I'm not dramatic or really saying the end of the world, but you can see what happens in the Amazon and in many other levels. And these plants are helping really not only to heal, because the healing is the secondary part, I think. Once you wake up, you start healing yourself. You have the power. You change your food, you change your habits. Many things change, and then you start living healthy. Takes a little time because there is a memory stored there, but bit by bit repetition will bring you to the final path of healing yourself. And the main thing is that it wakes you up. There is another realm, there is a source, there is an origin. We are one, and that brings another level of consciousness in humanity. It will take time, it will take time. I know I will not see the change maybe because I'm kind of halfway on my way out, but it doesn't matter. For me, I'm detached from that. Enough is for me to put some seeds and trespass the knowledge, pass the torch for the next generations, and then they need these tools to face whatever is there to come to face.
Amazing. Anything more you would like to ask?
No, I don't think so. You got a lot of answers.
Yes, it's really good. Anything you would like to add on the end, Gino?
First of all, thank you for inviting me. It's always good to share. I don't know really much about plants or ayahuasca. I know about consciousness.
Yeah.
That is my thing. These plants help you to get in a higher level of consciousness. So I recommend there's nothing to fear if you go to good hands. People think they're gonna die or they're gonna stay in the other realm or they're gonna become crazy. Not true. If you go in good hands, you're safe. If you go in not so good hands, there is a big risk of all of them that I mentioned. So do your research. There is also something important. These plants are starting to call people. Sometimes you even read the word ayahuasca or you hear, and somehow it rings a bell and calls your attention and you start researching and then you feel the call. Sometimes it calls you through a third person that you see they have gone through the process and they are kind of changed for the better, and then you feel the call. So if you feel the call, it's good to listen and to maybe give it a try. If you feel not at ease with your life or some kind of disease, in general, emotional pain, this is a big door to heal. I can assure you, I'm not a doctor, I'm not recommending. Before going to these plants, it's better to make a consultation with your doctor. If you are able to go in these plant medicines, and then you can give it a try. So thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
Maybe I will sing a little song to say goodbye.
Ending with a song. That's perfect.
The one that I sang is a Nicaro, and
Yeah, okay, just
for healing.
very quickly. What's a Mikado?
So Nicaro is it's a powerful healing vibration expressed with a song, but also the healing breath. Because when you say, I will icarar the tabac, or I will icarar anything, maybe I will icarar this microphone, and then I start giving the power with the song. You can heal only with singing. The power of the shaman is in the icaro, in the healing vibration. And it can be with light, or it can be dark, dirty, if the shaman is not clean. But it's very important to know. So the icaro is most of the times given by plants. When you drink the plants in the Amazon, they give you these tones and songs, and many times during a ceremony also, it's like a download, or maybe even the day, they just come. And then this tune comes, and then you empower it and you start using it for healing purpose. The other kind of music which a lot of neo-shamans walk that path only with music and instruments, which is okay because they heal the heart and take you at bliss, is songs from the heart. They call it medicine songs, but I think they're more songs for the heart. Thank you very much.